they want to just kind of lift and go. And use your words. Don't freak out. Use leave it. You know, whatever you do, come on, let's, you know, but be observant. Again, like what we were talking about, you know, paying attention, being intentional. That is exactly what this is about. If you have not potty your dog, and they're going to, sometimes they're going to pretend that they want to get in the water more than they want to go and potty. I guarantee full potty if you go and take them. And it gives them a minute after they're out of their crate to just kind of have a moment, you know, and just, whew, they did their thing, and then they're back. I mean, if you can do that, that's great. Get to know your dog, you know. I know my boys especially, we go, I mean, they'll eat and they poop in the morning before we go to water practice. We go to water practice and we do a warm, you know, after we're set up, we do a quick warm up, we have fun, you know, everybody, you know, just, they do about 5-10 minutes. My boys, the second that I see their top line go like this, I know they have a poop. And even though they might not want to get out of the water, now my girls need to, but they hold it. So they've always been able to hold it and still continue. But they're a little bit more like they don't want to poop in public. The boys don't seem to tend to care as much, at least mine don't. So anyway, if you see that butt going down, that means they're tired or they need a rest. But I would say for the most part, they're going to go poop. And this is right after they've already, you know, gone. So some of it's nervous. I mean, we're talking water. I mean, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of, you know, it's kind of like a massaging on them almost. And let them go do that and then come back out feeling really refreshed. So just like I mean, we're not going to feel that great. We wouldn't be able to go run a marathon if we have to go to the bathroom. So, you know, kind of feel the same and think about the same as they do. And so today, okay, so I handed all of you guys your little Target square or squares. I have a square. Anyway, so what we're going to do with these, and these are fantastic for online. I'm hoping these are going to, they're supposed to be floatable. I'm going to try to incorporate these into water training this year because I use this all the time at home on land to do the things that we need to do. They're fantastic and they hold up. Okay, they're not to chew on. They're not to be thrown as a frisbee. They're a target where a dog has to go. And right today, what we're going to do is introduce them to the target by first a nose touch, and then they're going to have to go and get a treat off of it. You can use, I mean, these, okay, you can use lids, plastic lids, you can use, I mean, pretty much anything. These are just kind of a fancy version, and I thought this is kind of fun to have, and it does. I mean, you can throw it up. So I'm hoping this year we can incorporate this into our water treatment, especially for the dogs that are a little bit more reluctant to go out into the water to get something. But this might be a really good idea. They're already going to be used to getting something off of it. If we can put the treat on it and have them float, so let's cross our fingers that the description was right. They float. But if not, at least they're used to it, you know? So we're going to use these for get it, find it, directional retrieves. Now, as your dogs get better and better using these, you can start incorporating more of them and interchanging them with bumpers, with water toys. So it's basically going to be your same, you know, the same thing. But a target really does give them a place that they are familiar with. So lock these up when they're not, because they are nice little fun chew toys, you know. You know, put this is something special. This is going to be something that they only do out. Gatsby's only used these a few times. I think I I kind of forget sometimes that he really doesn't know a lot, and he just kind of has to incorporate in with my other dogs. So today we're gonna show how we can use them. We're gonna also do a fun game that we're going to. It's a basic control. So basic control is huge, fundamental. It's the most boring part of the water stuff. It is fundamental though. If you do not pass basic control in the beginning, you cannot finish. And it's fundamental to the dogs because if you do not have control of them, they're not listening to you and they're not going to finish the rest of any of the exercises. And it's kind of a chaotic situation for everybody at that point. So we're going to incorporate a game today about how to do our basic control. The dogs having to go back and forth from each other. There's a dog off leash over there. They're being respectful and not being there. But we have to, this in any dogs or anything that's coming, this is okay. I mean, they have to get used to a lot of different variables. There's a lot of different, you're laughing. Because there's so many variables. So we're gonna get started. Stop for a second until I without any of the other stuff on it. That is exciting. He thinks of the voices. But when we're out doing it, when you're at home or you're in the park, it's okay to use, your devices, for training. But you also have to kind of put that on them. You can also leave the other one on too. That's not, but you can't, in water, you need the flat collar. You don't want the pinching, you don't want a harness, you don't want those things that hinders them. And they need to learn, and, for us getting, I will not, he loves the water a lot, and some of you might find that your dog starts doing that too, and you need something to get them down to the beach without a Callie happening, So, these are the kind of things, and it's good to get them used to it in a group situation like this. He's not bullying me right now, and I think they really do get used to this kind of environment. So, I'm going to take this off though, because it's just a lot for me. Show you a basic pattern of the basic control that we do. They have to heel, they have to stay near you, they have to do a turn. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to be obedient perfect for anyone. Will you call? I'm going to let him go potty. A lot. Okay, treat. He doesn't even want it, but that's okay. Come on. Sit.
Those are frozen meatballs.
Good boy. Good job, buddy. Are you ready? Gatsby. Let's go. Quick up, right here, right here. Right here, right here. Don't fall. Now turn. Right here. No. No. Right here. Let's go. Let's go. Right here, right here. Right here. No. Right here, right here. Stop. Sit. Obviously, he's on a leash. He's learning. The more we do this, the more we get used to it. It has to be consistent. This is where a lot of the dogs fail, is not being able to do this because you have to be on the beach.
And they don't have to be perfect obedience. It's within arm's reach.
So pretend I didn't have a leash and he was around me. That's fine. As long as he's reachable as long as he's still paying attention, as long as he's still going. Right here, I'm going to go over this way. Come on. No, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Right here. Stay. Come. Yay, good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. See, then I've been perfect. Get one hand up, miss. I'm gonna say that's because, now notice how, I mean, you only have, no, come on. You have about, oh, I mean, the judge is gonna be like, no, as soon as you're ready. He was like this. So, don't call them if they're not looking at you. I mean, if you're silent, they're gonna look over at you and be like, oh, were we doing something? You know, or they're gonna be very intent. For younger dogs, I mean, it totally depends on how much obedience training they've had and how much they're used to you walking away. I go backwards for a young dog because it's really iffy unless I know that dog is super solid to turn my back and walk away. So until I know they're really solid on their stays, it's okay. Just walk yourself backwards, you know, and that's fine. You only get one halt. You got to put your hand down. So those are the kind of things that you incorporate with your stays. So, you know, stays are kind of boring sometimes for dogs. But you can do this anywhere, and you can make it fun. So anytime you can do that. Because like today, what we're going to do is help each other with our targets. So somebody is going to hold your dog for you, and somebody's going to put the treat, actually, let me take that back. Handler's going to hold their dog by the collar with a leash on. There's going to be somebody that maybe has to grab a leash and just wait. And then there's going to be somebody that is going to put the treat on the target for you and then back away. We're going to do that first so they just start getting used to where they're going and what they're doing. So this kind of alludes to what is happening in our water. So we have a beach steward. You're going to have a couple people in the water as a water steward. It just kind of gets us all used to working together as a group. And the other dogs, when they're not working, they're watching and they're learning. And yeah, like we were just talking about this morning, how they watch and they learn and they're like, oh, I get it now. So the ones that are more reluctant to do things, they're like, oh, this is how it works. I mean, all of a sudden now he's just realized it's like, oh, nobody else is I should. Not a second. All right, so we're gonna go over there and get our stuff. Let me set him up. I'm gonna show her. Now, see how she. Now, get it. Get her. Yay! Now, hold her back. Ready, Ellie, come right here. Come on. Right here. Yay! Good job. And then while we're doing that, now bring her back over here. Oh, good job. You should have. So, okay, treat for the end. Treat for the oh, yeah. Hey, no. On this. Okay. All right. So, treat for the stay. Treating for the stay. Good stay. Good stay. Good stay. Great job. Great job. Stay. Good. Stay. We're forward. So this is when it's helpful to have an assistant. Watch. Now. Now, use your hands to show her. Yeah! going after something, and we want them to be so excited. Get it. When we say that, we want them to be like, yeah. I mean, they might even be like, I don't know what we're getting, but we want that enthusiasm. So since she's so enthusiastic, good job. Treat her for stay. Stay. Hold her collar, Jeff. Hold her collar. Good stay. Get it. Yes. Good girl.
Yay!
Come on, right here.
Yay!
Okay. So this is the importance too. You get a high value treat that they really want to go after, they will. Good. Yeah, good job. Good stay. Good stay. Treat her, treat her, treat her. Good, treat her. Really good stay. Excellent stay. Excellent stay. Oh, oh. Belly flop. No. Good stay. So this is where we're going to hone in too. By doing exercises like this, you get an opportunity to treat for sits, to treat for stays, to treat for get it, to treat for come. But I mean, all those elements, I mean, that's amazing. So this all is what fetches. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And the boring parts of sit, of stay, you know, okay, calm, whatever. That is when you have the awesome, perfect opportunity to really hone it. Good stay. Good stay. Good job. I mean, really incorporate that. Okay, all done, all gone. You know, and make sure you say. So she comes back over. The reason why we have a leash is so they can't go and get something. Now, if you're at home, if you're alone doing this, put the leash on a doorknob. Go and set up your stuff. Treat them for their sits and their stays. They get up, they're not going to treat for it, but they'll do the cut. So don't worry about it too much. They'll get used to it, and pretty soon you'll be moving further and further away. And you'll be like, and I'm not kidding you, you're going to get this thing out, and they're going to go nuts. They're going to go, oh my gosh, I get to go do something really fun. And that's what we want. We want the enthusiasm. I mean, and it's okay that it's only going to
have to buy meatballs.
Yeah. Meatballs are perfect. You know, Costco, and hot dogs. Hot dogs, meatballs. I mean, up your game for everything. I mean, these are training sessions. These are 5 to 15 to 20 minute stuff. So give them good stuff. I mean, give them the stuff that they would be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that to be in my diet right now. Oh my gosh. So, you know, don't be chintzy. I mean, it's a constant, you know. I mean, again, just like you were sitting there, perfect opportunity. I'm sitting there, treat, good stay, good sit, good, you know, whatever it is. And we have all these opportunities to do this. And sometimes we just forget to use them. I mean, when we're going about our regular day, it's fine. But during a training session, again, it's only 5 to maybe 20 minutes that we get around to, you know, a few days a week if we're lucky. So make it work for them and make it work for you and have it be really intentional. And somebody's really quiet now, which is crazy. You know, I mean, just those little things count. So I think what we'll do right now, we're gonna break up. Okay. So you saw what he was in the beginning with basic control. Ivor here is 6 years old and is very much was like that too. Now he's 6. I mean, he's leaps and bounds. And this is like, I mean, it's a progression. So we're going to show an example of the progression of how that happens. So why don't we we'll do it over here with a little bit. Hopefully he'll do it. He's a little bit. So in basic control, I know, put that right there. Maybe can't see. So it's always good when you're doing these things. I mean, for incorporating not only the basic control of just your dog's brain starting to function as a working dog, but it also helps for the junior level. The last exercise is swim with handler. And that's a tough one. I mean, it's easy. For some dogs, it is. Once they start really engaging a lot, though, on hitting things, bringing things, coming back with things, it becomes a little bit more difficult unless you do it very consistently. So we've all been there, where but all of a sudden your dog that you swim with, and it's such a weird concept. You think, oh, I'm just swimming with my dog, right? But they're like, no, we don't do that. We're supposed to be doing something. So now we've engaged our dog in a working dog manner. We've gotten their prey drive up, and now we're expecting them to go all the way back down and relax and go on a nice swim with us. And that's we're asking two different things here. But it's really important because now they're not swimming on top of them. And unfortunately, it's not as convenient as maybe other places in the country that we could be swimming next to our dogs all the time. We just kind of have this short span summer to do so. So any way you can incorporate movements and obedience and being around your dog and having them, be like this with Fiber right now, who is super engaged, is super cool and it's really important. So I know, again, I am the worst, especially during the beginning of the season. It is cold in the water. It's cold in the mornings that we go. It's usually when it's raining, windy, anything worse. We're there. Our dogs are fine. I'm shoopy, so I go, oh, there's men to do everything. And then by then I'm tired and I don't want it. And so I'm just as guilty as a lot of people about this swimming with handler and doing the exercise. So keep me on top of my game too, please. We'll try to do it for each other because sometimes that's what's needed. Just even, it's something that's important because when you get to Tennessee, or you're just swimming in the water and you're just trying to have fun. You go on a vacation, you're like at the lake, you're camping, you're with your dog, oh, I'm gonna go swim with my dog, and they're flying on top of you. It's scary, first of all. It doesn't feel good, and you're like, oh, maybe I should have done a little bit more about the practice. So, that's why we have a group to kind of try to keep each other going with that. So please do the same to me, especially because I tend to get a little chilly and but anyway. This is a good way, but that's what basic control is not just for that. I think it really engages you with your dog from the beginning of the practice and reminds them, oh, this is what we do. That's right, nobody's being pulled into the water or things like that. You're right. So, okay. So when it starts, judge is as dog sit and stay. And normally they would say take the leash off. The steward would come and take the leash off of the dog. And you're in a area. We're not going to do that here. But judge says, are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Good boy. to touch. You know, she kept his interest. Okay, I'm going to critique you right now, just because you're my friend and I can't. Getting down like that, not the best thing. Going up here, woo, I'm up here. You know, being the crazy person up here instead of the crazy person down here, where they're like, that's when, so, I do it all the time, so, believe me. I mean, we all do. I mean, we're used to, if they are down here, we're trying to get them their attention. The good thing is that, you know, it's like, if you go, oh my God, what are you? As long as you don't touch them. I mean, you can be as crazy and fanatical as long as they keep their attention and keep moving, it's great. So now we're going to do, so once they finish with the basic control, then it is, then it's a recall. So it's a stay, sit, stay, run 3 feet. And he's had issues, well, I don't know who. It's not a long dog, so I haven't had a couple issues with this in the past, but you did great. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, so, and this is really good. Like, in a group atmosphere like this is what a test is going to feel like. There's people, it's pressure. I mean, you know, Heather's on deck. You know, you're stressed because all these people are watching. You know, the dog feels all the things too. So, but this is why it's such a good thing to be in a group and do this, is so that everybody gets used to it. You're comfortable. And by the time you get there, everyone's like, yeah. You know, you're feeling, okay, you know, you're nervous and it's so, okay. This is basic, or this is the recall for basic control. Please sit your dog. Right, right. Sit. Are you ready? Yes. Forward, stay.
Yay!
We almost did it. Whee! We're good. Good job, Heather. You were a little far. I mean, it would have been probably more of about right here.
I couldn't remember if you
I know.
tell you when to stop.
What can't? So this is the thing. When these things are happening, notice I was like, couldn't say anything to her. You know, I should have arranged it first. So my bad. Should have arranged it first and said, this is where you stop at. You can test or whatever. We would have a line or whatever. But I wouldn't have been able to say that because once this is happening, you know, because the second you do, you're going to deter that dog away from the handler and they can go on. And so that's.
And I can't remember. I told him to stay. Can I do that?
Yes, and you know, and it's probably been a little while. You know, I mean, again, we're all rusty. Usually, you would do a stay, really animated stay, and then walk away, and you did not. You did a you did a hesitant stay, and then walk, and he was like, eh. So critique. I mean, it's okay. You're all gonna get it from. You're all gonna get it from me. So. But I mean, that's what, again, this is what a group is for. We need to positively critique each other. And I mean, we all need it because when you're in the middle of doing something, sometimes we don't even know that we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing. But you did great. You did fantastic. And no matter what, after everybody's done with everything, we need to be super enthusiastic about the dog. And I mean, look at these guys right now. This is huge. I don't hear anything. I mean, that's amazing. So, I mean, these are the kind of things too. Treat your dogs to this. Celebrate the successes like this. So, I mean, it's going to be a little different when we go and actually are in the water. So I'm still trying to determine if that's going to be next week. The water levels have been really high and there's not been a lot of beach anywhere. So the water's cold. I think
that
beach
water was warm.
the water was warm. It's a little chilly out,
The
but
wind,
that's
the
normal.
wind was bad. It was like, it was cold, but once I got in the water, there's no problem.
Okay.
If you got your wetsuit on,
Yeah.
if you get into the water.
Well,
there's no
and
problem.
then for those that are impervious to cold,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Was it busy?
It was getting busy after we got there. And
Okay.
people were kind of watching what you know what we were doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of hesitant for next week. Well, my daughter just graduated from high school this weekend, and I know a lot of other districts, it's next weekend. So we might run into a lot of graduation parties, and I'm almost thinking pushing back the third session till the weekend after when everybody has graduated and there's not the parties and everything else. I'm also hoping that, you know, some of the shoreline has receded a little bit.
Oh, it's
So I
gonna
know
be
you
sure.
guys, you know, so PNNC also has training on Sunday mornings. And it's, you know, the beachfront that we would normally use because we're a newer group, younger dogs. I was wanting to go on the other side of that and kind of piggyback with them. That way we can have a boat for the dogs to, you know, they can use it. Then we have a boat for the dogs to be able to kind of, you know, get familiar with and see what they do with. And then I could take it back. But I would like to do it on the other side. The last week I was there was no beach. So that's been the issue. So I'm kind of thinking we might need to push it out a week. Again, my daughter was graduating. I didn't think about anything else. So, but now I know it just feels like graduation should have happened in May, and it's kind of odd that it's happening in the middle of June still. So, but yeah, the water's still a little chilly. There's not a lot of beach. And kind of have a little bit more gear. I'm going to go the next couple days and go do some investigating around. There's some places on the Clackamas that we can go to. And I mean, really, our third session about swimming is going to be, let's see how these dogs do. The whole point of this is let's get them used to this. And we're going to be white water. You know, I mean, they're tired. They're going to be even more tired at a water situation where there's a lot of other, I mean, there's really been nobody here, you know. So there's going to be a lot more variables. And that's what this whole course is about, is getting that familiarity and being able to calm down and just like, okay, we can focus a little bit, not only for them, but, you know, for us too. And so that's kind of where we're going with it. So, yeah, I wish that it was a little